blooming against the wind, the girl who reclaimed her dignity from the dust. One falling from grace, a perfect life shattered overnight. Lin Xiao once had a life that seemed perfect and glamorous. She was a standout student at the Academy of Fine Arts, blessed with extraordinary painting talent, favored by her teachers and admired by all her classmates. Born into a wealthy family, she never had to endure hardship or worry about making ends meet. All she needed to do was focus on painting every single day. Her oil paintings were elegant and exquisite, carrying a unique refined charm. She lived like a noble princess untouched by the trivialities of the mortal world. Everyone around her believed she had a bright future ahead: solo art exhibitions, a successful career in fine arts, and a lifetime of glory and ease. But fate has always been unpredictable and ruthless. On a stormy, thunderous night, all her beautiful dreams were shattered to pieces. Her father's lifelong company collapsed completely due to a broken capital chain, leaving the family drowning in massive, overwhelming debts. Crushed by the immense pressure and anxiety, her father suffered a sudden cerebral infarction. Though he survived, he was left paralyzed in bed, unable to move or speak a single word. The pillar of the family had fallen in an instant. Within just a few days, their luxury mansion was sealed off, and all their valuables were seized to pay off the debts. With no other choice, Lin Xiao moved into a dark, damp basement in an old neighborhood with her paralyzed father and heartbroken mother. The basement never saw sunlight, its walls covered in mold and stains, stuffy and musty all year round. It was sweltering in summer and freezing cold in winter, a world apart from their former luxurious home. Staring at her bedridden father, her haggard mother, and the endless pile of debts, Lin Xiao quietly put away her beloved paintbrushes and packed up all her designer clothes. She knew deep down that the spoiled young lady of the past was gone forever. From then on, she was the only one who could hold her broken family together. Starting from scratch, enduring all hardships to survive. There was no time for sorrow or self-pity. Survival and affording her father's medical bills became her only priority. To cover her father's treatment costs and put food on the table for her family, Lin Xiao bought a simple iron cart and set up a street stall selling freshly made fruit tea, earning a meager living to get by. Her hands once only held paint brushes, soft and pale, never doing a day of hard work. Now, she got up before dawn every day to wash fruits and boil tea syrup, constantly touching icy water and boiling hot liquids. Her hands were covered with chilblains in winter, scalded repeatedly by hot water, old wounds overlapping with new ones, rough and worn out. She never complained about the pain or her suffering, enduring everything silently, sticking to her stall every day just to make a living. Yet life never went easy on those who struggled. One day, hoping to attract more customers, she moved her stall near a high-end coffee shop. The cafe manager looked down on her shabby cart with great disdain, thinking it ruined the shop's upscale image and dirtied the fancy floor tiles. Before Lin Xiao could even explain, the manager roughly pushed her cart over. Tea barrels, cups, and all her freshly made fruit tea crashed onto the ground in an instant. Cups shattered everywhere, fruit tea mixing with dirt and sand flowing across the pavement. Lin Xiao squatted on the ground, staring at the mess, overwhelmed by grievance and pain. Tears welled up in her eyes, but she forced herself not to cry. Surrounded by crowds of strangers on the street, she felt tiny and insignificant. No matter how much she suffered, she had to bear it all alone. Seeing through cold hearts after falling on hard times. She could endure physical hardship and tiredness, but what hurt her the most was the coldness and betrayal from people she once trusted. It was only after she fell into poverty that she realized all the friendships around her were based on her family's wealth and status. Once she had nothing, everyone deserted her without hesitation, even kicking her while she was down. As she was cleaning up her broken stall that day, she ran into her best college friends from the art academy. They had once been inseparable, vowing to be lifelong best friends and chase their art dreams together. But now, those former friends were dressed luxuriously, carrying designer bags and looking glamorous. When they saw Lin Xiao in a messy apron, covered in dust and running a street stall, they showed no sympathy at all. Instead, they covered their noses, pointed at her, and mocked her like she was a ridiculous freak. No matter how close the friendship once was, it meant nothing in the face of poverty. What broke her heart completely was her fiancé. This man had once made endless sweet promises, vowing to hold a solo exhibition for her and love her forever. But when he drove his luxury car past and saw her selling tea on the street, his face was filled with nothing but disgust. Without a single word of comfort, he said coldly, "You're a disgrace looking like this. Let's break up. I'll never marry a street vendor." His words cut deeper than a knife, shattering the last bit of hope in her heart. She didn't cry, make a scene, or beg him to stay. She just wiped away her tears and stood tall and straight in the cold wind. She finally understood one truth: no one can be relied on in this world. Only herself could she trust forever. For a ray of hope in despair, meeting her only kind helper. Lin Xiao was on the verge of giving up back then. Suffering every day, bullied and abandoned by everyone, she almost lost all hope. Just as she was at her lowest and most desperate moment, an elderly scrap collector named Grandma Wang gave her the only warmth and hope in her dark days. Grandma Wang had lived a long, tough life and had a kind and simple heart. She felt sorry for this talented young girl, who should have been chasing her dreams instead of struggling on the streets. Without fancy words, Grandma Wang gave her an old unused electric tricycle and comforted her gently, "Child, making a living with your own two hands is never shameful. No matter how hard life gets, never bow your head. Run forward, and the wind will always be behind you. You'll get through this tough time." Those simple, plain words warmed Lin Xiao's frozen heart instantly. She cleaned the old tricycle spotless and used her artistic talent to decorate it with beautiful stickers, turning the worn-out cart into a neat and lovely little shop on wheels. She no longer stayed in one fixed spot. Riding her tricycle, she traveled through alleys and communities all over the city selling fruit tea. She put all her artistic taste and care into making every cup of tea, making each drink beautiful and delicious, attracting more and more customers. In her spare time, Lin Xiao posted short videos documenting her life online. She never played the victim or sought sympathy. She honestly showed her hard work of preparing ingredients at 3 in the morning, her father's gradual recovery, and her huge life change from a rich young lady to a street vendor. Her genuine and down-to-earth spirit gradually touched countless netizens. 5. Rising from the ashes, becoming an inspiration with her own efforts. Hard work and sincerity always pay off in the end. Lin Xiao's inspirational story went viral online. People felt for her hardships and admired her perseverance. Many even drove a long way just to buy a cup of her fruit tea and support her silently. Her business grew better and better. Through her own hard work, Lin Xiao paid off all her family's huge debts and founded her own fruit tea brand, turning a small street stall into a formal chain business. After achieving success, Lin Xiao never forgot her roots. She hired many people living in difficult circumstances to give them stable jobs and a decent life. She kept her old first tricycle displayed in the lobby of her company, always reminding herself never to forget her hard beginnings and stay true to her original heart. The girl who once fell into the dust had finally turned her life around and risen against all odds. 6. The best revenge is living a better life without him. 1 year later, Lin Xiao outgrew her childishness and became calm, mature, and confident. She went back to the Academy of Fine Arts, picked up her paintbrushes again, finished her graduation work, and rekindled her long-lost artistic dream. Now, Lin Xiao was not only a fine arts graduate but also a successful entrepreneur, wealthy, confident, and living a glorious and dignified life. Her ex-fiancé who once abandoned her and looked down on her regretted his decision deeply after hearing about her great success. He came to see her with expensive roses, begging for forgiveness and hoping to get back together with her. Lin Xiao looked at him with no emotion in her heart, no anger, no hatred, only calm indifference. She said softly and firmly, "When I was at my lowest and most desperate, you abandoned me and thought I was worthless. Now that I've climbed to the top by myself, you are not worthy to admire the scenery in my eyes." After saying that, Lin Xiao turned around and walked towards Grandma Wang, who had always supported her. Her back was elegant, firm, and proud, leaving all those who once underestimated and hurt her far behind. Conclusion. Life can take away your wealth and destroy your easy days, but it can never take away the backbone and integrity in your heart. No matter how low you fall or how hard life gets, never give up on yourself. Even if you are standing in ruins, you can still dance your own dance. Even with the worst life script, you can rewrite it into the most brilliant ending all on your own.